They're doing it again. Nerf, why? Why do you do this to me? It's that magical time of year that we seemingly haven't had in a long time, which is New York Toy Fair time, where we get to see all the new stuff from a bunch of different companies that we're supposed to get excited about for the next coming year, pretty much. And Nerf did announce some new things, like Nerf Gelfire isn't gone. It's still gonna be around. No Nerf Rival, apparently, or Hyper, or anything but new Nerf Gelfire. That's what you're really looking forward to. And a new line in N-Series called Nerf N-Series Loadout. As you can painfully see, I'm not at New York Toy Fair because I can think of several better ways for me to spend a couple $1,000s. And yet I can still do a video because all the information is posted. I obviously don't have my hands on these blasters, and I won't for at least a couple of months. And after all this, who knows if Hasbro will ever send me a review sample ever again. Not that it's all bad. Just by the law of averages, most of it. A lot of the information here was posted by CNET, but there wasn't an actual press release information, but BlasterHub.com actually posted that information, so thank you very much, Brian. If you want to check the stuff in detail, and probably some things I'm gonna miss as new information comes out, check out BlasterHub.com. Let's start off with the Nerf Gelfire news, because there are two new blasters in this line, and I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Gelfire. I think it's really cool in its own ecosystem. I think it's a really bad value outside of its own ecosystem. But the new Nerf Pro Gelfire Warp Speed comes in at $70 US, which is actually a price point we haven't seen Nerf put on shelves in a little bit now. They say it's going to be available at most major retailers and be hitting shelves in the middle of July. Burst into battle with the Nerf Pro Gelfire Warp Speed Blaster. It's the fastest firing Nerf Pro Gelfire blaster, unleashing 20 rounds per second, which is not an insignificant rate of fire here. This full auto motorized blaster includes 20,000 Nerf Pro Gelfire rounds. The large capacity internal hopper holds up to 2,000, which is pretty freaking good. This Nerf blaster fires rounds at a velocity of up to 150 feet per second, which is actually really under most of the options out there, including the Nerf Gelfire Ghost. It comes with a rechargeable battery and universal USB-A to USB-C charging cable. Asterix, highest rate of fire with full hopper and fresh battery. Rate of fire decreases as the hopper empties and the battery drains. So yeah, more Nerf Gelfire. The thing here is 20 rounds per second. I'm not exactly sure how that stacks up to a lot of other options out there, but the problem with the gel blasters as a whole, in my opinion, is that they're all pretty much the same. They're all pretty much full auto, hopper fed, fast fire rate blasters. But I have definitely seen cheaper products out there that hit harder than 150 feet per second. But super huge capacity, it looks pretty freaking cool. And it includes a rechargeable battery and stuff. I don't know if this is gonna be worth $70 US, but we'll just have to wait and see. Hitting shelves at the same time is the much more reasonable Nerf Pro Gelfire Pronto, ringing up at $20 US. Burst into high-performance battling with the Nerf Pro Gelfire Pronto Blaster. Ignite your competitive advantage with this Nerf Pro Gelfire Pronto Blaster that features speed fire and speed reload. Just pull the trigger to fire, no priming needed. The stock is an integrated refill hopper for instant reload. Simply tilt the blaster down to pour rounds from the stock into the blaster. The blaster's total capacity is 800 rounds between the stock and the internal hopper. This Nerf blaster unleashes rounds at a velocity of up to 150 feet per second. It includes 5,000 Nerf Pro Gelfire rounds that come dehydrated in the box. So yeah, if you remember the Nerf Pro Gelfire dual pistol things that had the big triggers that you squeezed and fired rounds without having to do any kind of priming slides or anything like that, this is a more carbine version of that. But also kind of taking the refill stuff from what X-Shot was doing with their Hyper Gel line. It looks cool, and for $20, as long as it primes pretty okay, that might be actually a good deal. Nothing mind-blowing, but does sound pretty cool if you're into that Gelfire stuff. But on to the main course. In my opinion, this is the most exciting blaster we have revealed, and normally I would save that for last, but we got a huge elephant in the room that I'm trying to ignore as it destroys literally everything. Oh, don't go there. Somebody grab the shovel. Coming in at $50 US and available at most major retailers, we've got the Nerf Loadout Galactic Commander. Bring video games to life and customize your ultimate blaster. That is a really good idea, Hasbro, with how cool messing around with your own custom loadouts in games like Tarkov and Delta Force and Call of Duty with the gunsmithing. That's all awesome. I want to do an entire series on stuff like that. I've been planning to do it for a long time, and Just haven't, because I don't think anybody else but me cares. And it's really similar to what they want to do with Nerf Modulus. But for $50 in 2025, Nerf is giving us Select Fire Flywheel Blaster again. Modulus Regulator 2 Electric Boogaloo. Nerf Loadout Dart Blasters include interchangeable attachments to mix and match for more than 1,000 combinations. The Nerf Loadout Galactic Commander Blaster features 3 firing modes: semi-automatic, 3-dart burst, and fully automatic. The blaster comes with a scope, clip storage, stock, and barrel attachment, which are all interchangeable with other loadout blasters and 2 18-dart clips. Equipped with the legendary Galactic Commander skin, this blaster will supercharge your epic space battles. The Nerf Loadout Galactic Commander includes 48 Nerf N1 darts designed for extreme accuracy, speed, and distance. Build your Nerf Loadout blaster stockpile for endless customization. Yeah, you get it. This is Modulus 2. Yes, honey? Yes, I just got my early morning caffeine delivery. Thank goodness. Oh, that's delicious. $50 for Nerf Select Fire with 3 modes is actually really good, but that also really concerns me where they're cutting corners to get that price, because I think that's actually a little bit cheaper than the regulator was. Curiously, in this press release, I also can't find out what batteries it takes or anything like that. Hopefully it's not D cells, because I'm tired of D cells. If it could do like 8 AA's, that would be preferable. Now the thing is, there's also no rate of fire claims or anything like this, which tells me that it's not a marketing gimmick for Hasbro, which means it's probably average or below average. And the issue I have with that is when it comes to burst fire, it's really only useful if the blaster has an innate high rate of fire, because otherwise, why would you use the burst fire when you could just kind of squeeze the full auto and let go and just burst like that? And hopefully these are the same magazines that were already done with Nerf N-Series. And my biggest thing is that you need to sell Nerf N-Series mag packs separately, Hasbro, because right now there's no way to do that. So if you buy this blaster, you get the 2 mags, which thank you for putting 2 mags in the box, by the way, but you're gonna want more than that. Hopefully that's an option, but hey, I'll give it to you here. You have 2 mags, that's the bare minimum. I'm happy with that. If this was only 1 mag, I would be extremely mad. It's also unknown at this time if those attachments are compatible with Nerf N-Strike Elite, and if Nerf N-Strike Elite attachments are compatible with this new N-Series line. I assume the barrels are not, but the stocks kind of should be. We'll find out, and I assume the firing velocity for N1 darts are going to be around 85 to 90 feet per second, like pretty much everything else in the Nerf N-Series line so far. That was the good. Here's the okay, and then we'll get on to the really bad. Nerf Loadout Artic Zerostriker. Available at Target for a retail price of $29.99. Bring your video games to life and customize your ultimate blaster. Nerf Loadout Dart Blasters include interchangeable attachments, blah, 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 blah. The Nerf Loadout Artic Zerostriker Bolt Action Blaster has a 6-dart internal clip and comes with a scope, stock, barrel, and bipod attachments. It features the legendary Arctic Zerostriker skin. I don't know why they keep calling them legendary, because they're acting like this is a video game, and it isn't. These aren't in a video game as far as I know, and if they are, they're kind of a little boring. Man, I never did videos on these either, even though the strike back looks pretty cool. But both of these are internal magazine blasters, much like the Arctic Zero. The Shadow Storm features an 8-round internal magazine and a top slide prime, but the strike back is a pump action blaster that has a 6-dart internal magazine. So kind of similar to things we already have on store shelves, but a little bit different because it does have a skin on it, it does have more attachments, and of course it is bolt action, which is pretty much like the Pinpoint, which is a rather meh blaster in my opinion. So you got the Pinpoint and strike back had a baby, here's the Arctic Zero. As one of the greatest art critics in our lives once said, derivative. All right, well that's 2 out of 6 brand new products for Nerf Loadout in the N-Series line. So those 4 last ones, huh? Well, you know how Nerf had reshelled the ward like 7 times, and yeah, we're getting 4 new agility reskins. I wish I was joking, but out of the 6 new products revealed so far, 4 of them are identical blasters, just with slightly different ergonomics and attachments. But once again, let me paint the nightmare scenario for you. It's your birthday or Christmas or some other gift-giving related event, and you're super happy to receive literally anything. Mom and Dad got you the Nerf Loadout Cyberlight Ghost. a $30 blaster available exclusively at Walmart. The Cyberlight Ghost is a bolt-action blaster featuring built-in LED lights that make the barrel and cylinder glow. It has a 6-dart rotating cylinder and comes with a scope, stock barrel, and dart storage attachment. We'll talk about those attachments. It isn't the first time they're gonna show up. But then your next gift is from your older brother, and he ordered this off Amazon because it's apparently exclusive there. The Nerf Loadout Flarefusion. The Nerf Loadout Flarefusion Bolt Blaster has a 6-dart rotating cylinder and features the legendary Flarefusion skin. It comes with a scope, stock, and dart storage barrel attachments for multiple ways to customize your blaster. And yeah, it's literally the same thing as a Cyberlight blaster, down to sharing the same stock, but it's a different color. But then Grandma and Grandpa picked you up the brand new Nerf N-Series Frostfusion blaster. It's a bolt-action blaster that has a 6-dart rotating cylinder and features the legendary Frostfusion skin. This one has a different stock attachment and does have different attachments in general, but it is again the same exact core blaster. It's a bolt-action agility, or much like the Gear Up Pack bolt-action agility reskin. We're not even done yet. But you also got some cash along with your gifts, so you go to the store and you find yourself at most major retailers the $15 Nerf N-Series Loadout Shadowspeed Recon blaster. It is a pump-action blaster that has a 6-dart revolving cylinder and features the epic this is what I'm talking about. 4 6-shot rotating barrel blasters, and granted, all of them seem to be somewhat retailer locked as it is. But I want to point this out from not only the standpoint of like a kid getting all of these blasters at the same time and figuring out they're all pretty much the same thing. In fact, I'm willing to bet that the cheapest one, the Shadowspeed Recon or whatever, is probably the best one because it's pump action. Does it have slam fire? It doesn't say if it has slam fire or not. It better have slam fire. As a reviewer, how am I supposed to cover all of these, Hasbro? They're all the same thing. They're all the same exact blaster with a slightly different mechanism for priming it. And don't pretend for a second I didn't know about the pump action ward that's coming out. I'm not adverse to Hasbro like reshelling stuff, especially older blasters, bringing them back and just having a couple of derivative blasters out there to begin with. I do have a problem with all of them coming out at once. I highly doubt these are the only products we're going to be seeing, but these were the ones that were in the press release, and that's also very concerning. And no lever action. I honestly would have taken a lever action agility blaster. One of these could have easily been lever action if they wanted, but it seems like creativity dried up in the desert of Hasbro way faster than anyone could imagine. All the N-Series blasters pretty much hit the same performance points anyway, so the only difference is going to be ergonomics, how they prime, and how many darts they hold, and how fast they fire, I guess. And if everything's overpowered, everything is balanced, or in this case, if everything's underpowered, everything's balanced. And maybe I'm just getting too old and cynical, but besides the Galactic Commander, I don't really see how you're supposed to be excited for these. It is pretty cool that Hasbro is adapting the whole, like, skins element to their stuff, but I still think X-Shot did it 1,000 times better. And speaking of X-Shot, even though Nerf Modulus came out way before X-Shot started hitting their stride, I can't help but feel like a lot of this new N-Series stuff is trying to compete with the X-Shot Insanity line. I mean, Hasbro had years to jump on this train, and they don't. But all those cool-looking exposed dart magazine-looking things are just rail attachments that loosely hold a couple of N-Series darts. That's available on 3 of the 4 blasters here, and the Flarefusion literally comes with one of those circular attachments that holds a ring of N-Series darts. It's literally the clickbait Nerf YouTuber barrel attachment. It's not like there's anything wrong with this, it just really feels blatant at this point. But the good news is, at least we're still getting new blasters, and at least they're gonna be pretty okay. I mean, even the worst one on here is still going to most likely be an acceptable blaster. New attachments so people can customize their stuff, even though the colors won't match at all. And hopefully these blasters actually have paint on both sides. Yell at me down in the comment section if I'm completely wrong and I'm just a grumpy old man. I have no idea anymore. I am actually excited for the Galactic Commander, but let's have a palate cleanser, because I'm not sure if there's gonna be enough announcements from Dart Zone themselves to warrant an entire new video, but they did show off some really cool things. I mean, they showed off some recolors of the Outlaw and the Venom Pro, and they showed off some Hydro-dipped solos, but the funniest thing about that is they're offering a new barrel for the solo that is literally this one right here from, I think, Detroit Dart Works. And this is an awesome little shotgun. I need to do like a short or something with this because I love this thing so much. They also showed off Picatinny rail attachment keychains. With all the intellectual properties Hasbro has, that seems like something they should do. Oh no, if these are like blind box or something, I'm not against that. That's gonna eat up my wallet. And there was at least one big new blaster release. It's just a full-length Nitroshot blaster. It could be short dart capable, we don't know yet. There's not a whole lot of information out, but it's basically a dart zone BREN gun. It's got a bipod, it select fires between full auto and semi-auto because it uses the Dart Zone Pro Mark III's firing system, hopefully with some changes to make it a little bit more durable. But yeah, top mag loading bipod and placement style, but you can also run and gun like it's Battlefield 1. That is awesome! It is a reshell, but it has enough different things and it fills a new niche because that's gonna be way better for like an emplacement. It is literally that easy to take an old mechanism, turn it into something new. If you do different enough things and you fill in a new role, if you think about it for half a second, you can get people excited. If you want to see the full video on this, just click on the card in the top right corner. Personally, I hope these blasters are fantastic and blow me away because that's just guaranteed YouTube revenue at that point. And Hasbro needs a W. We all need a W because of Hasbro, and I honestly feel like a lot of people have been suffering because of how bland Hasbro has been for the past half decade. And I sincerely hope this isn't everything. I hope there are some more surprises coming out over the weekend. And if there are any updates or anything, not only should you check out blasterhub.com, but also check out the community tab on the page. You know, that thing nobody uses, because I'll be posting any updates I find on that as well. And here's hoping we see some more cool stuff coming up on the horizon.